I often get a lot of comments asking how much should I feed my hamster and how often should I feed them, because there's a lot of websites that will say a bunch of different things. Like some people will say you should feed your hamster daily, or you should always keep your hamster's food dish topped up, which is something I do not promote and I do not recommend anybody do, because keeping your hamster's food dish filled up all of the time can actually cause them to become a picky eater, which is not good, because then your hamster is just going to pick out the good stuff they want because they know it's going to get refilled again, so then they can keep picking out the good stuff, and then they're not getting all the nutrients they need. One of the more common schedules I see people use is feeding their hamsters 1 to 2 tablespoons every 2 to 3 days. I think this is a great method because it does give your hamster time to eat everything in their dish. New hamsters can be picky eaters even with this method sometimes, so you might often have to go a little bit longer until refilling their dish. To prevent a picky eater, the best way is basically fill up their dish 1 to 2 tablespoons and then wait until the dish is completely empty. A hamster will never starve themselves, so they eventually will eat everything in the dish. So I used to use that method until I've recently changed it to suit my hamsters a little bit better. So for example, my Syrians get 1 tablespoon every other day, whereas my Roborovski gets 1 tablespoon every 3 days because of how slow she eats. My Syrians eat everything a lot faster, so if I were to feed my Robo every other day, she would eventually gather a mound of seeds and probably become a picky eater, which is something that I don't want. So that's why I give her a little bit more time to eat everything, just because she's such a slow eater. Now on the opposite days that I feed my hamster, I actually give them vegetables, which is something a lot of people are kind of scared and wary to give so often, because they think that giving your hamster vegetables that often is going to cause an upset stomach or diarrhea, which is true but also not true at the same time. If you have a brand new hamster and you're feeding them 17 new vegetables in one day, then of course they're going to get a upset stomach and possibly get diarrhea. But if you slowly introduce your hamster to new vegetables and increase the amount slowly, it kind of gives them a chance to build up a tolerance to these vegetables. Vegetables are very healthy, they have lots of nutrients and minerals, so I do think it is good to feed them every other day or once a day even, rather than just giving them once a week. Now when it comes to things like treats and how often you feed them, it really just depends on the type of treat. There's healthy treats and then there are really unhealthy treats. So something like a healthy treat could be a maybe baby food or a Gerber puff treat, something with really low sugar. That could be given almost once a day or every other day, just because it's pretty healthy, there's not a lot of fats and sugars in it. Whereas something like a yogurt drop should be fed maybe no more than once a week, just because it is filled with sugar. So this is the schedule that has worked best for me and my hamsters. Of course, it might not work for your hamsters because all hamsters are different. Some will eat faster, some will eat slower, so it honestly just depends on the hamster itself. And you kind of just need to watch and see how long it takes for them to eat all of their food. So I know this video was short, but I have been asked this question a lot, so I did want to answer it in a video. So I hope it has answered your questions. Thank you for watching. Bye!